Well, fuck.
It's come to this.
Yeah, here we are.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? Yeah. I guess to preface, I assume everyone that's watching this already knows that we announced on Tuesday that we're shutting down Unparalleled, the facility, and we're going to start tearing it down in the next couple of days.
And today's Thursday, so it's been about 2 days this has been
about 2
public.
days. Yeah. And this is something that we, had been considering was going to happen, and then within the last few weeks kind of came to the conclusion that this was like the clear path forward.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at the very beginning of the whole like pandemic and once everything got shut down, that was like we were already going to be closed for a week. So we were kind of like, oh, we have a little bit more extra time to kind of see what happens. We don't know how long this is going to last. And then, things kept progressing. And then obviously like it's been a couple of months, after like a month or so, we were kind of like, oh shit, like what if this keeps going? Like how long do we have? Like what can we do?
Yeah, like for me, after like the first few weeks, because like I was in like LA right before, then I was in Florida when like everything became like really different in like one day. And that was the day that like Tom Hanks got sick, the NBA canceled, and it was like, oh my god. And I was like at this conference with like hundreds of other people in Florida. I was like, this is really not ideal. Like if this day had happened the day before I left, I wouldn't have left.
Yeah.
And then you were like
I was driving to LA.
Yeah.
And I had stopped in Salt Lake. And on the day that I drove down, I was just kind of like watching the news. Things were like kind of starting to progress a bit. And then the day that I was like actually in Salt Lake, it just like everything just like ramped.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I need to go home.
And then like cases in Missoula happened.
Yeah, and I saw a couple of cases in Missoula happen, and
like
then
it was there.
And school shut down, and I was like, I gotta get the fuck home.
Yeah.
So I just like turned around and came home.
Yeah. And we assumed I thought that it was gonna be like, we'll see, it might be a few weeks.
Yeah.
But then like after those few weeks had kind of happened, it was pretty clear of like, well, like as far as pandemics go and as far as like vaccine timelines go, like I don't see any sense in like thinking that it's going to be months.
Like suddenly get better, yeah.
It's like, like be weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to be like be months, and then like probably like this is like, if this is how we're acting now, it's already here.
Yeah.
What's like, why would we act differently in 5 months when it's still here?
Yeah.
And so we were very optimistic though that we would get the support that we needed to financially make it work.
Because I think one of the things that was hopeful is that when this happened, I started seeing so much more opportunities for like financial help, especially through grants and through the government. And I was like, okay, cool. Like they're taking this seriously. Like I feel like it's very likely that we can find some help and get through this. And so, like, we very aggressively pursued any options that we had for grants. We pursued, like, PPP loans. And, like, everything that came our way that was, like, a potential for us to, like, sign up for.
Yeah, even, like, a slim chance.
Yeah, we, like, just pushed it.
We signed up for, like, within an hour of it being launched, we were already in.
And so, like, that kind of gave me some more, like, hope that it would come through because, we were on top of it. Like, these things are there to help businesses just like ours. Yeah. To make it through this.
Yeah. And we were excited. We're like, well, I mean, like, we have so much to build. Like, it's hard to build a parkour gym when you're running a parkour gym. And so this is like, well, like, this is, like, obviously a bummer, but, like, what an opportunity to...
Yeah, it's like silver lining. Let's make some shit. Like,
let's finish the gym. And, like, we can actually do that and, like, not be... Like,
and it's like on timeline for Fool's Jam.
Like a brutal timeline. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like work hard, but like compared to other build-outs, it's like easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think pretty early on, like we realized that like Fool's Jam, out of all the things that we do,
it was not going to happen. Really happen. I feel like it was March when we were like, oh yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like the world's stopping. We don't need to tell everyone that Fool's Jam's off yet. Let's just sit and wait and see what happens. But then the narrative became much more oh, is the gym gonna stay open? And that's kind of where our like energy turned towards.
That was that to me happened in one day.
Yeah.
Like I went from this is gonna be like this is it. Like I was calling my banker every day.
Yeah.
Like multiple times a day. Like check on different things. Like it wasn't multiple times a day, but sometimes
often,
it was. And calling him, making sure that because there was 4 or 5 days where things were kind of unclear to when we could apply for the PPP, and that seemed like the best one to also obviously apply for. And they went through banks, and so we're on it. And we got it, and then we saw how much we got.
And it was next to nothing.
And it was and I was like, oh, so this is the support that we did all this work for, and then everything else that we had applied for, we haven't heard anything back. We've spent a lot of time trying to nudge them and be like, hey, anything, but they have so many people doing the same thing. And so in that day, it seemed to me as if if this is the support we have, and if we're going to be closed for a long time, and all those things are true, by the numbers, it
just doesn't make
we don't
any
even
sense.
Kind of stand the chance. It wasn't even oh, this could be tight. It's how many tens of thousands of dollars will we be in debt if we...
I don't even know about tens of thousands. I'm probably more than that. Probably 6 figures for sure.
It's expensive. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, definitely a lot.
Yeah.
And also seemed awful. It's what we would have to do in order to then be in that much debt is
the amount of energy that we have to put into to then put ourselves into tens of thousands, if not more, dollars of debt doesn't add up.
Yeah,
it's why would we do that to ourselves?
Not worth it.
Just to make this thing crawl along for a few more months.
Yeah, we could have limited classes, have everyone wear face masks, do the sanitization thing between every single thing. Knowing that the majority of our clients are small children, age 5 to 7,
who probably weren't going to show up anyways.
Exactly. That's the
thing even if we could have been open,
and it's summer.
Yeah, if we could have been open and could have run small classes, which we can't even.
Yeah.
Even gyms are allowed to open tomorrow, and we're still not allowed to open because we run group classes. Yeah. So even under the circumstance of that, in Montana gyms can open, we're not even included in that. So even if we could open, could have small classes, the kids aren't going to show up. I don't think.
I mean, I think some would.
Some would. And the diehards would.
Good on
sure.
good on them. That's cool. Awesome. We appreciate you. But it doesn't tip the scale.
Yeah, it's not our gym saved.
Yeah, we've been on thin margins even when we were doing good. And I think that we were the best we've ever been. Emotionally and mentally, we were finally
the day,
feeling.
Yeah, the day that we closed, I think is the best our business has ever been.
Yeah.
And then it just
and we had just finished winter's session, which was the best session we've ever had. We've changed a lot of how we're here and when we're here.
We keep restructuring our systems,
and the system felt good, and I was oh wow, this is so much better.
I like being here a lot more. It's just it felt like it was finally kind of working, and
we finally had good staff.
We were hitting a groove a bit, and then it was just psych, and then obviously we've been closed for 2+ months, and or exactly 2 months actually. And so it's we've understood for probably I'd say about a month that this was inevitability, but
I'd like to look at the date that we actually found out that number, because we found out that number. We had a phone conference with our bookkeepers, and that phone conference basically went from if these are the numbers,
this is what we're doing.
Then to me it doesn't seem. It seems the move is to leave.
Yeah, and obviously it's a hard thing to tackle emotionally.
Yeah,
it's not it wasn't the numbers aren't adding up.
Yeah,
fuck it, we're out of here. Fuck y'all. It was it was oh shit, this is real. And then I think we spent the next couple of weeks understanding that that's what's going to happen, but kind of coming to terms with it and really figuring it out. I don't know. At least for myself, it felt it was oh shit, when that kind of switched and was oh yeah, this is probably the outcome. Now I have to kind of grapple with that emotionally and figure out what's next, what's happening. So, But I think so that gets us to Tuesday, and we had both kind of gotten to the point where we're like, oh, we know this is happening. We're thinking logistically at this point. It's like, we need to get out of this contract. We need to work on getting done with this. Like, how do we get rid of all this stuff? And it just, I thought we had processed it, and like it wasn't new information to us, but then like putting it out publicly was just like totally different.
Well, that's when the emotions hit for me.
Yeah, me too.
Like, there was just so much to do. And so, like, right after we had that conversation on the phone and realized that was the move, the first initial move, obviously, is, like, our main partner that we work with in this is our landlord. You know, that's, like, the main business structure that we have, that relationship. And so we scheduled a meeting, like, with him. And basically we're like, you know, we can't pay you and we can't owe you. Yeah. Like, if this rides out for like a long time, like, we'll never undig ourselves from that debt. And so, you know, he obviously has another partner that he needed to talk to, and they took a few weeks, almost.
It was like between 3
weeks. It was a bit over 3 weeks to get back to us.
A month.
We nagged them a few too many times, and
so get some.
I'm sure emails. They were annoyed by us, but you know, like, that limbo is hard. Of like. Because
basically it's like we needed that confirmation to be positive that there wasn't a win condition of us getting out of this situation, basically.
Because, like, there's so much work to do.
Yeah.
And they're exact opposite types of work.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, one thing is you're staying, so keep building.
Yeah.
The other one's you're leaving, so start tearing things apart and liquidating all of your assets.
Exactly. We just needed that confirmation to start going the other direction.
Yeah, and so it was a lot of like, what do we do? And that was like my least favorite part of all this, was just like because like we know we want to do a thing. We told you this thing.
We understand there's like a 0% chance you're going to come back and go, yeah, free rent for a year. I'll do it. You know, like,
because
that's basically what had to happen. Yeah. That's
it's like
kind of the only way, like, condition that would have worked essentially without us pulling out dumb loans. Yeah. And that's like, and like, why?
Yeah.
To then like have us struggle even harder than we were struggling before.
Yeah, because like, the goal has always been to own the buildings.
Yeah,
and like that's like the business model that makes it, like, as far as business models go, parkour gyms are like the worst business model, especially in a city as small as Missoula. Yeah. And so you need a shit ton of space. You need it to be like this weird like industrial space, but in like a, you know, residential area, or like in a commercial retail area. And so you need all these things to align, and that property's expensive.
Yeah, and like we weren't there, and like, it just like it wasn't gonna be there for a while now that this is happening. Yeah. So it's like, it made so much more sense for us to then say we need to pivot. Yeah. And there are other opportunities out there. We have ideas of things we want to do. But if we have this ball and chain that is sucking up thousands of dollars every month and we can't do anything about it, there's no way we can make moves on like other opportunities. Like, we're fucked. Yeah. So it's like, it's not that the dream's dead. It's just that we have to do something different to keep it alive for now. Yeah. And I think
like this gym, this version of it isn't that vessel. It's not that.
No, and it'll never get us there. Like, maybe it could have if this had never happened.
Sure, and because that was the game. Like, last time we moved, we sunk a lot of effort into buying a building because we experienced renting, we experienced moving, we experienced the loss of those assets. Yeah. And then so the same thing here of like, we really try to buy a building because you put a lot into it. Yeah. And it's unique to the space. Yeah. It's not like you can like take this pre-made thing and move it to a new building because every building tells you how to build that gym.
Yeah, you have to build to the space. You can't just be like, and here's the stuff, and plop it down.
That doesn't work.
No.
You'd have a stupid gym.
Yeah.
And like, I would not be able to stand that gym. Like, I'm pretty like judgmental about gyms when I walk in into them. And so like, and that was one of the reasons. So like, you know, our landlord came back and graciously, you know, said that like, hey, like, we get it. While you guys have to be shut down, you don't have to pay. But when you open, then we can like find like a winning thing.
Just ramp it,
but
whatever.
But like, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make your space smaller so that your rent's cheaper and more affordable.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
And like that's like it's wonderful. Like they were willing to like work with us. Like they have our best interests at heart. Nobody's looking to screw each other over in this situation. But when you all of a sudden have this like really pretty like, you know, L-shaped build that's designed well for that space, and all of a sudden you cut it this way, then the design of the whole thing makes no sense.
Yeah, it totally screws up the entire flow of the gym. And
so
the
it's not
balance
like you
of it.
just move these objects that are in the way of the wall.
Yeah.
It's like everything is now stupid in my opinion. Like this is like this.
Well, it doesn't
dumbest,
work.
This is the dumbest build ever.
Because like
none of these things.
Because like imagine we took all of the like walls in the corner and just put them like in front of the bar cage. Now you can't swing off the rail cage. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why
like,
does
why
that
did you
exist?
put a bar cage here?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, it's like the worst spot for a bar cage.
Yeah, there's shit right there. Why'd you put it there? Yeah, it just it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So. And it's sad, and that's just like the reality of it, and shit kind of does suck, and I think we'd both rather have some sort of like way through this, and just like it's okay that it sucks, and it's okay that it's sad, but it's like there's more things in the future that I think will work out better, and we can still provide value to the parkour community and the Missoula community at large that can help keep like progressing parkour. Yeah. Because that's the goal. That's what it's always been.
Yeah. And like in this time you have to like look at like nobody knows what's gonna happen.
I mean like we've both talked about it a bunch. Like I think the gym industry is kind of fucked.
I'm not optimistic that the gym industry will do well. Yeah. And I don't feel confident gambling everything that it will be.
Yeah. And but take like a normal fitness gym, like maybe they'll be okay, but we don't know. And I think the gym industry, even in that sense, is going to struggle. And that's talking about just like normal people that go to any gym. Mm-hmm. We're talking about like a niche sport that has always struggled to find money in it. And now having all these complications to it, it's like we're already playing on hard mode, essentially, when it comes to like gyms. Mm-hmm. Like, why are we just like going to keep pushing this difficulty upon us? And when we can be creative and find other ways to facilitate these things. Yeah. Honestly, obviously, a parkour gym is an awesome tool. It's a huge community hub. Every time a gym pops up somewhere, you see like the community thrive. Like the model for growing the like parkour as like the spirit of it is fantastic. But I think just the reality of life now is that normal isn't coming back, at least for a long time. So I think that it's just time to try to get creative and pivot and just like be smart about how we run a business that has to do with parkour. Yeah.
And how can we be best positioned to do whatever the new thing is?
Exactly.
And is it to have this ball and chain, or to be nimble and like liquidate everything and like have as much like options at hand as possible?
Like I want to be ready to adapt. Like you have things that you want to go do. Like we now have this like weird time where we can like do other things in our life, and I think we're gonna go do those things. And this is just in my head. Like, life never works out this way. But I think something is going to happen, or we're both going to go, oh, shit, that. Yeah. And then we're going to do it. Yeah. But we can't do that if we have this gym that's sucking our life away.
Because it's like, oh, that, but then we have to deal with this.
Exactly.
And, like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So I think when those opportunities arise, we're going to be ready to, like, try something new.
Or as, like, in the best position we can be. Yeah. You know? And, like, it's always been, like, you know, majorly bootstrapped.
Yeah, totally.
The whole way. And so, like, we have, like, you know, acquired things along the way. We've acquired, you know, a YouTube channel. We've acquired, like, you know, all these different things.
And I'd like to think that
and
the parkour community, like, respects us. And
I would hope so.
Like, I think we have a pretty good name in the parkour community. As far as, like, the response that we got on Tuesday says, to me, it's, like, that the parkour community, like, gives a shit about what we're doing. Yeah. And to me, that, like it was just like so fucking overwhelming, the amount of people like who reached out and like left messages and like comments on Instagram and stuff like that. Yeah. So like that like really hit home that it was like worth something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I was the night before, I was like thinking of coming back here because there was like the weather was gonna change, everything was gonna rain, the dumpster was empty, and I needed to like dispose of some like pieces of wood that I could like layer on the bottom of the dumpster. Like the amount of times I've been in the dumpster intimately to like Tetris it is absurd. But like, so I was thinking of that, and then I was like, man, like, I need a moment from the gym. Like, I'm owed a moment. Like, I've given you 9 years of my life.
You've bent me over for 9 years.
It's ending. Like, this is it. There's only so many days left that I can have a moment. Where's my fucking moment?
Yeah.
Like, god damn it, I need like an aha thing. I need like a breakthrough. Like a, you know.
And I think
something.
I've had 3. I had 3 distinct moments. It was the day we opened this facility.
Yeah.
When everyone like showed up, like Christine, like
sure.
fucking showed up, and
that was a moment. So like that. So it was the night before we opened up, and so like that started when they walked in. When Steve, Sam, and Christine like walked in, and it was like a rallying time. Again, I was like in the dumpster. Yeah. Like because we had to get everything out to like make because we were opening the next day, and we sat in the gym until like 4 a.m. And then like came back at 7 a.m. to like work, and then I yelled at the engineers, and then the whole like.
It was a mess.
It was a whole thing.
But
we opened.
Yes, I was cutting flooring as people walked in.
One of my moments too.
And then the second one was Fool's Jam 2019.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
That week I think is like the peak of my like parkour. Like I don't know, like that was like what I've always envisioned like the community coming together for parkour is, and I think we hit it, and it sucks that we can't like keep pushing that. We can in the future.
This is our 10th year. Like,
it was,
we had some things planned.
But I'm not saying we can't come back to that.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a little bit of it's gonna be different. It'll be a while.
We will have a 10th anniversary on our 11th anniversary of it,
or whatever. Something. Who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, Fool's Jam 2019 was like, as far as like my experience with parkour was like the best like moment that I've had. And then Tuesday night when like we announced the gym was closing, and everyone like kind of like just hearing from everyone was just like very, very like very emotional, very overwhelming, but like very appreciated.
Yeah. So like Tuesday night I was here, you were at your house, I think.
Yeah, I was just at
and
home.
then like you sent me a text because like we were working on the email.
Yeah.
And like we had like a document running, and we don't have internet here now, so I was like going on my phone to like do things, and then had to talk to Doug, and this all these things were happening, and all of a sudden I got a text from Kent and said everything's live, and so I popped on like the socials, and I saw just like the amount of people that like commented, and like I just was looking at my phone, and my phone became blurry. I couldn't see it anymore. And like I just like was finally able to feel the emotion of it all. And like I just sat and cried with a box of tissues, and like looked at the gym, like the amount, like I lived in the old gym like for a bit of time, like, and I have just spent a lot of time alone in the gym, just like staring at the walls and like deciding what to build and how I could, like what was possible. And so, and I like as this like last build had happened, and like even in September when we started it and like kind of finished it now, and the last little bit of it was I was going back and forth of whether it made sense to finish it, because we knew it was probably going to get torn down, but I wanted to. Because I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna have a chance to like do this again. And like I wanted to finish like what I had started, and so like I just really was able to really appreciate it and like enjoy the steps of like cutting and painting and sanding and routing and like making it all like look really pretty. So and Tuesday night like I just like sat down and just like stared at the walls and just like and took it in and like felt the feels for the first time, because there was so much doing in this last like 2 months. That there wasn't like, I'm one of those people that like if there's a thing to do and like there's a hard crisis or whatever, like you just do what you got to do, and you don't like you have time for the emotion of it. But there's also you become kind of numb to it, and that's not good. So once it all kind of happened and I saw those messages, that finally let me feel it,
totally,
and like feel the emotion of it, and like the gravity of it.
I know it totally, because I was in like a very similar boat where like I hadn't really thought about or like considered that it was going to like I thought it was going to be like we put it out, people are sad, and I'd be like I've already like dealt with this and it'll be fine and we move on. And I was talking to you yesterday and I was like like I don't know if I think someone texted me, I don't remember exactly what the like happened, but I was when we were driving to go talk to Doug, our landlord. Right. When we were going to actually be like, okay, we heard you, but we're closing. And then I realized what that meant is that we were going to announce it tonight, that evening. And then I was like, oh. And like it all hit me at once. I was like, oh, today's going to be really, really intense. and it was. And
Yeah.
but like it was like I didn't even like really comprehend that was like definitely have just been like probably bottling it up a lot more than I should have, but also we're doing what we had to do.
Yeah,
and it's just
it's kind of how both of us like process things and do things, and it's like a lot of the masculine energy of this.
Like totally.
You do it,
which I think
you compartmentalize everything, and you just
absolutely.
do what needs to get done. But then you're like kind of like an empty robot that's not very happy with your life.
Yeah. Which is brutal to say the least. But
we're back.
All right, we took a little bit of a break. We had some camera malfunctions, but we're good, and we're doing it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
just the amount like trying to film long term, like trying to film a thing, and then the camera stops recording after 16 minutes because it just can't handle it.
Well, I mean, like, because like in other podcast episodes, like sometimes like it'll be filming and then it'll kind of like dip out of the video for a little bit and go to like a logo and then come back. It's because the camera stopped recording every time, or like I get to the limit of the camera recording, I have to like go and reset the camera and come back.
Which we've gotten good at because you can like you know how long the camera normally
30 minutes.
does.
I just try around like 25. I'll be like, when there's a natural pause in conversation, I'll just be like, okay, cool, and then like go turn it off. But
then when you go over and the camera's off, and you're like, oh no,
fuck! Like, when did it turn off? Yeah, but at least we have the audio. It makes me regret ever doing a video podcast, but I still think it's a more interesting format.
Yeah. We just need a better camera.
We just need better gear.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think the big question, I'm sure like a lot of people in the community are asking, or maybe no one, who cares? But I feel like people might be curious. Maybe one person out there is curious.
I feel like there's at least 10 people that care.
Yes.
Yeah, they care a lot. Like, I'm sure a lot of, like, hundreds of people care.
A little.
But, like, there's, like, a lot of people that are like, oh my god, like, this was everything, or, like, this was, like, my favorite, or, like, and you guys know who you are.
There might be 10 of you.
There's probably at least 10 of you.
Pushing 15.
Maybe 12.
But again, I think the question is like, what's next for us, and what's next for Unparalleled? Because we're not like retiring the brand.
Yeah,
that's one thing that we were very like adamant about, is that the gym's gone, but Unparalleled isn't over. The people are still there. The community that we've built is still there, and just like the whole like brand and like who we are still exists, and that's what it is to its core. So I guess like what's next? I guess like one, like what are you going to do? Because I feel like this is the first time, we were just talking about this while we were taking a break. This is the first time that we have not been physically tied to a place as adults. So it's like, it's kind of weird. It's like, what? I can do anything. It's a very foreign concept. So I guess like, what do you want to do?
I'm kind of like reveling in the, I don't know.
It's kind of sick.
It's super sick, dude. Like I've always gotten into a thing and then been like somewhat trapped in that thing, and like it's a great thing to be in, and it's always difficult and emotional to leave that thing. And so like I've exited gyms before. I've coached like almost my entire like young adult life.
Because if you don't know, Micah did a lot of gymnastics coaching before parkour.
So I've been coaching since I was like 14, and I'm almost 30. So I know it's absurd. So I don't want to get trapped again. And I want to have the mobility and flexibility, because with being trapped, even though you're doing meaningful work, you sacrifice things. And so like, I moved out of my dad's house, and my mom and I moved to Bozeman when I was 12. And since then, I haven't ever lived with him much, or when I see him, it's like I'm seeing him because we visited. Right. And so I'm looking forward to spending a summer in Livingston and hanging out with him, and like just having that time. And just spending more time with like loved ones. That I like haven't seen much at all, except for like little brief moments. And then outside of that, like, I'm not sure. Like, I've been, pursuing paragliding for a bit of time, and like dabbled a bit. Surfing, so much fun. Freediving, so much fun. Getting back into art. Like, I used to be a big time artist and like loved doing that, and then just every time I move cities, like your things change, you know?
Yeah, like because you like lose those routines
Yeah.
you built up, and it's
Yeah.
hard to like get back into those.
Yeah, so
for
like
sure.
bringing back art and film and photography and music,
Yeah, that's
and
exciting.
just like in being more like joyful.
Yeah,
Like
I think just like
yeah,
playing.
playing.
You know?
Yeah, because like it's hard because like all of my professional career has been coaching. And so you are like a public figure to some extent because you're working with everybody's children.
You have to be a role model.
You are, exactly. And so everywhere you go, you have to be that, you know, persona.
Yeah.
And that like person. And it's a bit of like a the term is losing, like what's the
it's draining.
like
dude.
it's kind of like an imposter syndrome, like
yeah.
syndrome of like, because like you are who you are, like you sometimes drink beer, you sometimes do things, but like you have to.
I don't want people I don't want gym parents to see me being this adult person that is normal.
Exactly, and so like, you know, going out, I don't rarely ever do that because you're gonna for sure see a parent. Like I can't go anywhere,
dude. I can't leave the house.
Without being
can't leave
like
the house.
recognized and seen. And like Aspen was in town, like my sister, and we went on this hike, this like remote trail, and like we saw two people along the way, and they both recognized me. And I didn't know who they were. They're like, "Hey, the parkour guy."
Yeah.
Like I'm like, God, I can't like escape this.
Yeah, and I told
like,
you
I'm,
I told you like
this.
every single time I've gotten training, like at least on campus since we've closed throughout the pandemic, I've seen like parents of people at the gym or like kids from the gym like, hey, like what's up? And I'm like,
and it like
fuck.
it's like always nice, and like
it's cool.
Like whenever I have a conversation or like whenever I, you know, like it's always nice and I always like enjoy it. But the idea of like, oh, well, who am I gonna run into? What do I have to like? You know, like.
Yeah,
it's like it's always like it's never as bad as like as you like make it.
Well, it's not even bad. It's just like it's just like you have to maintain this thing.
Yeah,
and
there
are upsides to it because like there are people, parents, kids, the community that respects you and looks up to you, and you can create change because of that. But there's also a downside because you're not like a pure form of yourself. It's like I have to like be like this. Like, I remember when I was going to start this podcast, I was like, am I going to have a clean podcast?
Right.
Because I don't want kids from the gym to find it and then be like, Mom, you saying fuck on the podcast, you know, like, and then gym parents being like, this isn't like the person that I signed up to coach my kid. And then like, I thought about it for a while and I was like, no, like, it doesn't make sense to, it's just like, so it doesn't matter. But I was like, that's a thought process that I had to go through and choose, which I feel like most people are just like, I'm going to say whatever I want, you know, like.
Yeah. It's a different world.
Yeah.
Like you operate differently when you like have to be that.
Yeah, exactly.
And like it's definitely it's like part of the industry that we are in.
It's totally like a bit of a facade.
And there's definitely people that like coach and don't do that or give zero fucks.
Yeah.
You know, and like I guess like good on them, but also like like
I don't know. It's one of those things where like
children,
you have to consider it. Like, even if you make choices not to be that sometimes.
Yeah.
You as long as you're like considering it, like you obviously like have your clients and the kids and the people in mind, right? And that's the important thing is that like you care, right?
Yeah, I mean like children are so easy to influence too.
Oh God, yeah.
And like it's you got to be careful. Like,
you do
what they do see, because it's really easy for them to go down the wrong path.
Yeah.
Like super duper easy. And like that's like one of the reasons like why like I mean I think it's so great that the skate park's in town, but I've seen that like literally ruin kids. Yeah. They've gone from like being with us all the time to like spending a bit too much time at the skate park, and now like they care about weed, and that's kind of it. And like that like sucks. It's
like weed's cool, but like
I guess.
have other passions.
Yeah, it's like
if you're like it's like if your only passion is doing drugs, it's like what do you do? It's
just not setting you up to like
it just sucks.
Be the best person you could be.
It's like I don't like even like smoke and do things often, fine.
Sure, yeah.
But do other shit too.
Yeah, you can't have that be like the only thing that you do.
Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
Drives me crazy. It's like such a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like even like remove like drugs out of the equation. It's like just do something. Just have something that you care a bit about and do it. Yeah. And I think that's like I don't know, like ever since we started the gym and ever since I got into parkour, it's like that has been so clear to me. It's like, have something you care about at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of people that I've interacted with in my life who don't have anything is like, those people scare me a lot. Yeah. And like it just makes me uncomfortable, because it's like, what, like when you like go to bed and you're gonna get up the next day, like why, you know?
Yeah, like they're like legit muggles. Yeah, it's like, what do you do?
Just like
what do you have? Like you're just around. Like a.
And I don't want to view it from a point of like, I'm better than you. I don't think it that way.
Yeah.
And I hate like it wanting to come off that way, but it's kind of just like care. I don't know, about something. Care about something, you know. But that was a tangent. I'm think I'm just gonna like travel a bunch. Yeah.
In this climate.
Yeah, like as much as I can. Like, you know, like I'm not just gonna be like, I'm going to Thailand. You know, like
this is happening.
It's more just
Wuhan,
like,
here I come.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna do some road trips. I feel pretty safe road tripping, right? Like not right now, but like as things open up a little bit more, we have some shit to do first. But because it's like, if shit goes down, just turn around and go home.
Yeah.
You know. So you know, be smart about where I'm going. Watch what's happening there. Just be aware. But regardless of like, you know, COVID and shit, I just want to like, I think one of the things I felt like I have missed out on the most with being in the gym is being more engaged with the larger parkour community. Yeah. And I miss that a lot. And so, and every time I get the opportunity to do it, like anytime we go to Vancouver or like any like jams or anything like that, I'm like, oh, this is like so sick, and this is like exactly what I want to be doing. And then it's like, turn around and go home, got a coach and shit.
Well, the weight of this gym is always with you.
Yeah.
And it's like, did I leave the stove on? Like, you know,
exactly.
It's like that type of a feeling. Because like, if you're not here and there's still things happening at the gym and you get a phone call, and like, it's stressful. And so like, it's hard to enjoy where you're at.
Yeah. Because
there's always something that comes up.
Yeah.
That like demands your attention.
Yeah.
And that's just hard. Like, it's like, you can't, it's like having like a perpetual toddler.
Yeah. It's like, it did your baby trip down the stairs.
Yeah. Of course it did, because you left.
Yeah.
Of course this went wrong because you left.
Because you left. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really excited to like, I really want to be like more engaged with the parkour community as a whole. Again, like go to more events, you know, just like, and just make stuff. Like, yeah, I've just been like having a lot of fun making parkour videos again, and just like making more stuff to help just like, you know, contribute to parkour culture as a whole. Yeah. That's what like really gets me excited right now.
Yeah, like I was thinking like last night of like writing all sorts of stuff of like all the different possibilities of like what we could do. Yeah. And it's like, wow, like,
and we can do
I'm more excited about what we could do than I have been in a long time.
Yeah, totally.
Because like everything like kind of revolved around the limitations of being.
Yeah, we were trying to like finesse the limitations of the gym, and now it's like, what do you want to do?
Because like location doesn't matter. Like we could live wherever. Like, you know, like we could put infrastructure wherever. Like we could travel and like not have a home base. Like there's like so many. Yeah. You don't actually have to be in Missoula.
Exactly. So that's like kind of what I'm planning to do. Is I think I'm going to not renew my lease after it ends, and then just like do something from there.
Yeah, and like exit's been like the word like in my mind. Yeah, like it's exit all like my dependence on like anything and everything.
And I think the theme that the two of us keep coming back to when we're talking about it is just freedom and flexibility. Like flexibility is a word that keeps coming back in my head. It's like being able to pivot and change and do something else just kind of on a dime, because it's like, oh, great opportunity, let's go do that. Yeah, boom, we can do it. Whereas like it's felt like we've had this like fucking semi truck, and then there's like this 90-degree turn, and it's like there's no way we're making that. We'll like hit the next exit and come back. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So it's just I think the opportunity of not knowing what's next is like really exciting, and
very liberating.
It is very liberating, and like, and it's super bittersweet because we are leaving a lot of things behind, and change can be scary, but change can also be very exciting. And I like it, like what we were able to provide for people was amazing, and I love that. But I just don't think now is the time anymore.
It's not anymore.
Yeah, so it's like...
If this hadn't had changed, we would have had like another probably year of somewhat roughing it.
Yeah.
And then we would have been to a position to where we were comfortable and we could expand a bit more of our freedom.
Maybe.
Oh,
are you saying like without COVID?
Without COVID.
Okay, I thought you meant like on the current track. I was like, I don't see us
the
having
current
any
track
freedom.
Obliterated everything that we've built.
Yeah, if we kept hanging on, I think it'd be like...
Oh no, it'd be horrible. It'd be like the worst
years.
ever.
Yeah.
We'd be like hobbled by debt. And then also like it's like both of us have had our own like mental and emotional just difficulty, I suppose, doing this. Like being legitimately poor because you are working your ass off on this business that has to like, you know, make a lot of money every single month to like exist.
Yeah.
But you literally see none of that money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then your like credit card debt like continues to expand. Like all those things really have a toll. And we're both have been feeling it.
Yeah.
And
totally.
aren't at all as far along financially as we feel comfortable with.
Here's the thing is like every choice in your life creates a sacrifice somewhere else. Yeah. You can't have everything. It's not how life works. And so like the gym created financial sacrifice for us. And we kept like letting that happen because we cared about this thing and wanted to succeed.
And there's a sunk cost effect to it of like, well, like we've gone this and the mission was good. The work was good.
Oh, totally.
Like, and there is people that like, you know, like I'm so grateful that we got to know them and spend time with them. And
if we didn't care about this, if we didn't care about the product so much, we would have dipped so long ago. You know, because it's never been easy. Why would we take that sacrifice over something that we don't truly
like to actually
care about?
Like walk through our timeline is just it's just absurd. Like
the
stuff we've had to go through and do and the amount of effort that we put into it and like you it's always there. It's definitely affected like who I am.
Oh yeah,
like,
totally
and, like how I be.
Yeah.
And like I just am always exhausted. And like it's been hard to have like a good time, especially because of all like there's just the different things we've both personally gone through.
Yeah.
Like we were both young, and like being young is difficult. You don't know anything. You're pretty stupid, you know. Yeah. And like you go through things and things happen, and like you know we've both been through like pretty gross breakups and bad things and.
Yeah, it's like we haven't even like touched our like personal life side.
Yeah,
we're only talking about
on
the gym.
top of all that. So like it's been grim. So I do not like in high confidence think that we would still be alive if we decided like in like say in like 2 years if we decided to make this gym work, both of us would for sure have offed ourselves by the time like the COVID's over. So I think that it's in our best interest and in everyone's best interest if we pivot now. And do something
and there's
better.
Opportunities. There's stuff to do.
Yeah, because there's a lot of excitement, and there's not like there's only like, God, like the thought of like what we'd have to do to like stay in this spot. I'm just not willing to do it.
No,
I'm done.
It would like the amount of like if you take it back, it's like financial sacrifice we'd have to take, and emotional sacrifice we have to take to
take on debt
to just open the door again.
Yeah,
would kill us for like many years to come. Yeah, just like no.
Like we're already beaten
no,
down.
we're both exhausted. Like
I don't think that we would be our best at all to do anything. Yeah.
And I think a good you could contrast this to the last episode that the two of us did together, which I think was like late November, early December.
It was like right before Thanksgiving, right after.
It was
Thanksgiving.
right around there,
yeah.
And we were burnt. We were both burnt out, and you can definitely see it in like our tonalities and stuff like that. And it's like it's that honestly like multiplied like probably tenfold if we were to just like continue and like and like force our way through it. It just like it would be that, but just like so many times worse.
Yeah, it's like we've always fought and we've always done the thing. Yeah, and this is the first time we're choosing not to do the thing.
It's weird.
It is like weird because it's like well like you know. You find a way through this course. I think the way is to.
No, it is.
The way is to stop.
I mean,
and
like
to like pivot.
That's literally what sunk cost fallacy is because you're like, I've spent all this time doing this thing, and I put all this thing into this thing. Yeah. I should just keep going because I've already put so much into it, and it's like, no, obviously the right thing to do is to try something new, pivot.
Yeah.
Like, we want to make a parkour park.
Yeah.
We want to make like little auxiliary like spots in Missoula. Like one of the things that we've been talking about is trying to get like just like, you know, a bunch of mini spots in Missoula to kind of like create this like little parkour like network almost of like places where like our students can train, our athletes can train, we can train, and just make Missoula more of like a parkour friendly place instead of having this one really nice hub.
Yeah.
And I think doing that helps lend growth to the community where the two of us don't have to like force trying to make it happen. It can just more like naturally become because the kids will grow up on parkour. They'll make those friendships. It can keep growing. Those things can exist without us having to pull the trigger on it, basically.
Yeah, and I want to have so much momentum that like we're not necessary.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to be like the gatekeeper to
I just want to be like the catalyst, and it's like,
exactly.
Boom, did it.
Like, I want to be
and then next project, like whatever. But
But there's some like stellar kids in Missoula that we have a very vested interest in.
Totally, yeah.
And we're like working on some like secret projects about how like what we can do to help further their platform.
Yeah.
Because like there's some kids, there's a handful of kids that have like really shown that they care.
Yeah, like really stepped up.
Really like been dedicated, been with us for a long time and have like really put in the work, and they've proven themselves. And anyone else that like isn't currently in that position, if they decide to like step up and like prove themselves, like we're willing to work with them.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna try to like narrow our focus on like we will spend a certain amount of energy putting effort into these children and like helping further and foster what they're capable of. But we're not going to necessarily, and because we no longer have like the mental overhead and physical overhead of a gym, I think that we can like put better focus into them instead of casting such a wide net and touching
on
so
25
many
kids in our level 1 program that don't give a shit.
Yeah, and like some of them do
Some of them do,
and like the ones that don't sometimes get the most out of it.
Yes,
because then they end up having like revelations.
Those have like a ton of growth,
and like that's all special and great and wonderful, but like that's no longer the business model that we're in.
It doesn't,
and so this is kind of empowering kids to step up, because if they don't step up, then it's on them.
It is on them.
It's no longer on us.
We are going to continue to provide the tools.
Yeah. And if they run, we'll run with you.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to convince you to run with me.
Yeah, it's like if you don't really want to do parkour, like, that's fine. You don't have to do parkour.
Yeah.
We care about it. If you care about it, let's go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, yeah, I think, it's like those kinds of things I'm excited to help like facilitate and make and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely traveling's sounding really nice.
Super sick.
After all of this,
when it
passes,
I have no interest in like going anywhere internationally right now.
I don't even want to go to a restaurant right now.
No, no. So it's like I don't want to fly anywhere, but like driving around like the West sounds really nice. I think Nate and I are gonna do like a good amount of traveling together this year.
Good.
We've been talking about doing like a big old road trip.
It's always been like a goal of mine to like spend spend them at the end of my life, to have spent the majority of my life, or at least over 51% of my life, not in America.
Yeah.
And this is
really hindering that. You really fucked you.
Well, yes and no.
Yeah.
Because like the trajectory I was on was not really in alignment with that like vision.
No, totally. I'm saying,
and so
like,
now like this kind of like
catapult
this
that.
Totally helps catapult that.
Yeah.
Assuming,
I'm saying like the last few years have been like 98%.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, we slipped away to Costa Rica for 2 weeks, and that was fantastic, and I got better at surfing, and I was like, wow, this is what like having fun moving feels like. Haven't felt that in a while. Yeah. How do you think your relationship with parkour will change now that you don't have it? Now that it's not like your business to
I think it will still be my business. You know, like parkour, like I want my career to be in parkour, right? Like I want to, that's what I want to do. But as far as to like one-to-one, like you do the class and then you get the payment, but you don't actually get paid, and then you do it again. I think my relationship with parkour is going to probably improve like drastically because like I really think like I love parkour. I love training parkour, but I really think it has always come down to the parkour community that has like made me like really love it. And so like getting to be bigger part of that I think is going to make me love it so much more. Like take like our Oceanside trip when like we went and saw Davis, just like all of us like going out and like the whole point is just like let's go outside, let's go train with our friends, and let's make a cool little thing. That kind of shit is so fun to me. Like I have so much fun with that sort of stuff where it's like we have the plan's simple, like go train with my friends and make something from it. And like so like events and stuff like that is like that it like really like fuels me, and I'm just like so excited to do more of that. So it's like when I think about traveling after this, I have no real bias on where I want to go. It's not like, oh, I've been meaning to go here for so long. It's like I want to go where stuff is happening, basically. It's like, oh, like in the future, like, oh, a jam's here this weekend, like cool, let's just go. And then after that it's like, oh, maybe like I'll grab like a couple friends and we'll go like make a project. But it's just like wherever people and things are happening is where I want to be, more so than like I like this place. And that's really exciting. What about you?
I think I'm gonna enjoy it a lot more. Because like I've definitely, the weight and responsibility of the gym is definitely like always like the lens I'm looking through. Like it's really hard to like shake that, and it's been hard to find enjoyment in moving, and it happens rarely that I'll like train and like enjoy it. Most times to train is like out of like I should be training.
It's almost like a self-guilt thing.
And it's weird because like I don't know like where that necessarily spawned from, like how that like happened. Like I know that like when I first moved to Missoula, I was working like 3 different jobs, like, and it was like I was working an absurd amount, and I had like Wednesday morning and Thursday morning off. Those are the only days I didn't work like multiple jobs, and I would train like, and like I just had so much fun doing it. And then somewhere along the lines of like dating Voldemort and like escaping that relationship, and like basically dating this like awful person. If you're listening, go die. Just really zero cares about you at all. But like it was like I wanted to leave for a long time, but it was just such a weird place to where like if I left and like was actually just like zero cares about it, I think that she would have killed herself. And so it was like this really like,
but you don't know,
emotionally messed up thing. So I had to like leave my apartment that I was paying for and like escape and like do all these different things. But during all the times like when the gym was like opening, and then like I was going through so much shit. And then like leaving coaching gymnastics and going through all this stuff, and then like you guys had just trained that whole time and you got so good, and I just kind of like, I don't know, like I was so busy building the gym and doing all the stuff and then like was just tired, you know, and then I just, the gap kept widening and I kept getting more like insecure about training, and then like it just was like this like thing, which is like super weird. But then like when the gym is closed, the last like between this gym and this gym, I like trained outside a whole bunch. I had fun moving. I got like, you know, like I did like things I'd never, like I did like my first double cork like on a hard surface. I did that outside without a gym. You know, so like I think like not having a gym kind of almost like liberates me to like move again, because it's no longer like the facility that I have to like make look nice for our clients or like just do a good job coaching. It's more like I did this because it's fun. And that's like why I had always done it.
And I think I think both of us will definitely have, I think, more success, like kind of like like reminding ourselves what like the relationship with fun is. So
So I used to have so much fun training. Like that's like all I.
Like,
I mean that's why we like went and played.
That's the whole point.
And like then we like fed off each other's like energy, and now it's just like it just all changed. It's super weird, and I'm hoping that I'm optimistic that it will like go back.
I think it will.
To like what it could be.
Well, I think that's great. I hope so. Well, if anyone got this far, thanks for listening. And if you guys have any questions about, you know, what's going on after this, I think a lot of people who would listen to this probably are just like, care about what we're doing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone who supported us.
Yeah, I mean, like, everyone that supported our gym and came to our gym was like, that's like what made it cool.
Yeah, it's like, again, it's literally all about the community. I don't give a flying fuck about like the walls. Like,
I kind of care about the walls.
Like, but if no one ever jumped on them, like, who cares?
Yeah.
The
amount of stuff that I like built and haven't actually trained on is like absurd. Yeah. Like, there's like this cool new thing out there, and like I have yet to jump on it. Yeah. I kind of jumped on it like a little bit, but yeah, I think having it not be our business to an extent,
not even that's not our business.
Yeah,
just the way that it is formed, the form and shape it takes, being different, I think will lead to very interesting and new things, and that I think we're both very excited about.
Super excited.
Yeah.
It's been a whirlwind for sure.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much like empathy and sorrow about like all the kids that won't experience this, or the kids that have been experiencing this that like won't.
Yeah.
But also, like, I've spent the majority of my life coaching.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many kids come and go. Their interests change, and that's fine.
It's totally fine.
But I've definitely given more to the people I coach than I have to myself. And I'm like looking forward to like prioritizing like my self-worth and my just joy.
Yeah.
Instead of like martyring myself for the good of like the business or the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we have some stuff we're working on. We got to get our gym done first. But,
and if you want to support us, go check out the online courses. Find us on Patreon. I think $2 a month or something like that.
$2 a month is the base.
And then, like, you just like as a thank you for supporting us. Like, if you care about us and you want to give us $2 and there's enough of you, like, that's like helpful.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, if we step it up from there, $25 a month is a full like parkour program with weekly classes and personalized one-on-one coaching, and I think that is like an absurdly low price for that.
It is absurdly low.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in continuing,
and then anyone like like we have a lot of like useless knowledge in our head of like how to design gyms, how like what like is needed to make a gym work. Like, yes, our gym like failed, but it's kind of because of like circumstances that like made that happen.
But
and, like,
I think
and we could do it, but like we're just choosing not to. But we have a lot of knowledge of like how to like make a business like ours work, and how you can like avoid a lot of like wasted time and effort and money along the way.
Yeah.
And we would love to like if you want us to have us consult you on like how you would design a gym, or how you would build a gym, or like what you need to do if you want to start a gym.
Yeah.
Like, we have just an absurd amount of knowledge and experience doing that.
And I think that a lot of people would agree that I think our gym is designed really well, and our last gym was designed really well. Yeah. And especially
and we have yet to ever finish a gym.
Yeah.
Like, that's the part that kills me the most. Like, we've been in all these buildings, and like the full finished design never has happened.
I mean, I would argue that literally like the stuff that you finished right now is the first time you could say that the gym is full. It's not
full.
Finished. But I'm saying like
full, but it's not finished. And it's not all connected.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in the space we're in right now, within the last like 3 weeks, is when I could finally be like, yeah, the gym is filled.
Yeah.
Not done.
Yeah.
But filled. And so like that kills me, where it's like, it's like
it's finally filled.
It's like V1 is like done.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna tear it down.
But like we definitely have a lot of experience like designing gyms, and that's something that I've definitely enjoyed doing a lot.
I love design. Yeah. And I think we have a lot of good like input and like a good viewpoint on how gym design works and why it works well, especially when it comes down to like coaching, as well as between in the relationship between making coachable objects and then a trainable gym for elite athletes. It's really easy to do one, it's really easy to do the other. It's hard to make a gym that works for both. Yeah,
like you want it to like be well for traffic flow, like be visible for parents viewing, like that whole interaction of it, be easily able to set up circuits for kids so you can have like multiple classes happening at one time, and then also be an elite gym. Like it's really hard to do, and like I haven't really seen the gym do it well.
Yeah.
No offense to all you gym owners out there, but your design is shit.
No,
I'm kidding. There's some cool things out there.
There are some really cool gyms. I saw a gym today that I need to go find and send you because like the way, like the aesthetic of it was just like mind blowing, and I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I'll find that and send it to you. But anyways, thanks for listening. I appreciate you all. Thanks for supporting us as far as you have so far. We have a lot of shit to happen in the future, and yeah, appreciate you all. And yeah, until next time, peace.